Fly fishing classes at Greenhorn Ranch. Had a chance to catch up with Mike Pease of Mike Pease Adventures. He teaches fly fishing classes primarily for beginners at Greenhorn Ranch. He's got some coming up here in May. Here's Mike talking a little bit about those classes. Explain these classes to me. It sounds really awesome at the Greenhorn Ranch. What do you have going?
Yeah, so I started a fly fishing school in partnership with Greenhorn Ranch in the La Sierra up in Plumas County. It's in between Quincy and Grey Eagle. And I started that fly fishing school in 2014. And way back then, it was just a one-day school. They have an awesome lawn. They have a saloon where we do all the work with learning our knots and learning about entomology and which flies match which bugs. And then we always end the day on a stocked pond, stocked with some really nice trout in there. In fact, up in Plumas County, I say, where's the best fishing? I go on the Greenhorn Creek Guest Ranch stocked pond. That's where the biggest fish are. Anyway, so yeah, it's what started as a one-day beginner school has evolved into a 3-day fly fishing school. First day is still about a 6-7 hour day there at Greenhorn Ranch, starting from as if you know nothing about fly fishing. And we go from the deck by the saloon. I have an interesting technique for teaching casting where I use a fly swatter against a wall. So we do that before we actually put rods in our hand. I do have all the equipment. If people have their own, we use theirs, but I do have all the equipment. Then we go out onto the lawn and we go through about a 7-stage process of learning the overhead cast. And then we learn about, we practice fighting fish against other people. And we do a bunch of work in the saloon with knots and bugs, and we go over all the gear. And then we usually end, after a really nice lunch in the Chuck House there at Greenhorn Ranch, we end up on the pond the last couple hours of the day where we put it all together and people forget everything they learned, because the next thing you know, fish are grabbing their fly and they're getting all excited and have to go over it all again.
Wow, that sounds like fun. I mean, this is all ages, so people that are all ages, they're kind of that it's geared towards?
Yes, so I've gotten down to about 10 years old, I think is about the youngest I've taught there. Up to people that are retired in their 70s, even 80. And then that's day one. And then people can sign up for either 1, 2, or 3 days, depending on the school. The schools are always 2 or 3 days. I have 3 sessions this summer. You could sign up for one of those 3 sessions at 1, 2, or 3 days. The next 2 days are out on the Middle Fork of the Feather River, where we get into a river and you have moving water, and we do some dry fly fishing. We have to learn about mending and things like that. And we collect insects, we turn over rocks. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow, that sounds like a really good time. So all ages, but it does sound like it's definitely skewed towards beginners, as opposed to somebody sort of going and kind of want to intermediate and then going into advanced. This is a little more skewed towards the novice, right?
Yes, this is skewed toward the novice. I have had people that have done it as a refresher, that haven't been fly fishing in a long time, or they didn't get good instruction from the beginning. But this is really geared towards beginners. I have done other classes, and I'll be working on a schedule for that. I've done Euro nymphing classes there in the fall. I've done women's retreats. We've had 12 women, and I bring in some other helpers, other guides, where we set up stations and we go through lots of different things there when we have a big group. Speaking of that, we do limit it to 6 people when it's just me for the first day. And then out on the river, I cut it down to 4. So if we have to go over 4 out on the river, then I need to bring in an assistant for that.
Got it. And then do someone who wants to do this, they have to stay at Greenhorn Ranch, or is it optional whether they're there or not? I'm sure it's a great place, but I mean, do they necessarily have to be there?
No, they don't have to be there. I've had people come and they've camped, or they stay in Quincy, or they'll stay in Gray Eagle. And of course, there's a lower price for that. Although the Greenhorn Ranch is it can be pricey when you're there for horseback riding. But actually, coming for the fly fishing is a really good deal. So I encourage people to actually stay there because their meals are there. It's a fun place to be. There's evening activities. They can practice on the pond after the class or in the morning. But they do not have to stay there, and there's a different price for that.
Really cool, Mike. So, you know what? Thank you for bringing a lot of people into the sport. Sounds like a great way for people to get involved and start to kind of get a taste of fly fishing. Appreciate it, and thanks for going through that.
It's my pleasure, and it does fill up fairly rapidly, so I would encourage people to sign up as soon as possible, and all the information's on my website. You will sign up for the fly fishing classes at the Feather River Fly Fishing School through Greenhorn Ranch. Any guiding I handle myself.
Let us know if you want to check out those classes and sign up with Mike Pease at Mike Pease Adventures. He does those at the Greenhorn Ranch, and I've got dates. You go to the website. I put the link in there for the website and more information you want about that. Or you can give us a call, text, or email, and we'll get you set up and get you up to those classes right here on the Backcast.